Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How is the best way for society to destroy your connection with source? Well, the most easy way that they found is by convincing you that you're not a spiritual being, by convincing us that we are like little robots that live their lives powerless. They convince us that we don't have anything to offer. They don't dig in our ability. They convince us of the opposite of what it actually is. When you force a divine creature to believe that we're not divine, we mess up with our head quite a bit, and we get caught up by demon, by the evil side of society. And this is the way in which the society controlled us. They controlled us because they taught us wrong thing. The best way to reverse this process is simply facing the fact that science and the way we have been brought up do not fill the gap, guys. Simple as that. When you approach life in a spiritual way, all the gaps are filled, all the mysteries are answered, and all the things happens for a reason. So when you go inside a spiritual point of view, you won't have doubt anymore. Mystery is a thing itself. It requires us to honor it. Stuff that cannot be explained, it's still being spoken. Science, what it cannot explain, they treat it as it doesn't exist. And that is the most wrong thing you can do. Just because you're not able to explain it, you cannot deny the existence of it. When you approach life in a spiritual point of view, the bad that happened to you happened for a reason. The presence of light and dark in the life has a meaning. Everything follows a story. Everything follows a reason. Is a spiral of evolution. It is a spiral that gets you in higher knowledge. It's pretty clear that in 2019 science still does not explain how come we are not a functional society, how come people has depression, disability, problems, suicidal thought, people are unhappy, we hate each other, we are destroying the planet Earth. So of course it's clear to me that it's not working, this approach. We need to go back in the spiritual approach. In the spiritual approach, everything makes sense. Everything happened for a reason. Your life become a film in which you live in, and you need to study yourself, to study the circumstances, because there is something that you need to learn. There is something that needs to be understood, and is different from every one of us. The path of enlightenment is different for every one of us. There is no one. So you will be thirsty in your life, and you will be seeking for this mystery to understand what was your past life. Have you got karma to pay off? Some lesson that need to be learned? What is the role of dark and darkness in your life? What is the role of good in your life? And it will explain you and showing you if you are associating yourself a little bit into innocent part or into the evil part. It will teach you to master both. When you approach life in a spiritual approach, everything becomes more interesting, and you feel powerful because you know you had other past life. This is not the first time you do it. It's not the first time that you seek for knowledge, enlightenment, to see, to understand. Instead, the view of logic and scientific and what school teaches us is not empowering, is not taking you anywhere. Is actually disempowering you, and is also making you feel a victim. Is exactly this what they want to do, to push you away from the spiritual point of view. Because if you get into the spiritual point of view, everything will make sense. You will feel not a victim anymore, because everything makes sense. There was something for you to understand, there was something for you to reach, there was something for you to master. So as a human being, you feel way more powerful when you approach life with a spiritual in a spiritual way. And you know, they couldn't fool me, because the spirits were talking to me since when I was little. I was reading Osho at the age of 15 and find it quite basic stuff. And the people around me, when I was talking, they were considering me crazy. Because when an enlightened being is in the middle of brainwashed people, it will always be the enlightened one that look mad. So I felt mad most of my life, but in reality I was the most awake. So now it's up to people to decide to approach life again in a spiritual way, to sense and feel the power, the thirstiness for knowledge, the thirstiness for the truth, and for the art of magic. Because the Illuminati, the people who control the society, they knew all of this already. They knew all of this. They knew it. This eye has been doing this game all this time. As you can see, in the middle we have the male energy side associated with the dark, in which, as you can see here a little bit, the pyramid is in this way, straight. In this side we've got the female wisdom that is associated with the light, and you can see the pyramid is upside down. Those two forces combined will open your third eye, and you will start to see that where is dark there is light, and where is light there is dark. And we are all part of an alchemy using elements and using different side of light, the bad and the good. And as you can see here, there is a wing because it's through angel. It's a long story, I will get to the angel later on. Anyway, and we all are part of the same ecosystem. We all follow law of universal law, which is we're gonna die and we're gonna feed and create constantly, both of this side. Denying your dark side will get you nowhere. And if you noticed, this symbol over here is a symbol that also is associated with Illuminati, because the Illuminati are people that are awake, but they decide that they want to emerge on top of others. They did not want to help all of the people to reach their knowledge, to reach their wisdom. They wanted to be the only one to control and to rise above the rest of the plebs. But there is an issue, because the plebs are awakening. The plebs are opening their eyes. They knew all of that. They were aware about all of this spiritual world, because spirit is good and spirit is bad. They decided to use it for the bad. Now it's time for people to see that you can awake on the spiritual path, understand all this knowledge. And there is also a light side, or better, there is the master of both. Become an alchemist to master your reality, you need to understand and value your dark part and the good part. So that's why when I speak about demons and I say to people to exorcise them, it's also important to thank them, because it's thanks to the evil if we evolve, and it's thanks also to this society and this brainwash that we receive if we can see more things. There is a very strong energy now of people getting spiritual, and people that were atheists or scientists, they finally feel this call on the spiritual part, because we've been ignoring it for so long. The elite, the society pushed us away from the truth, but now the connection with source is so intense that it's calling us back. On the moment that you want to listen, you will discover that being a spiritual being doesn't mean only being pure and light. Being a spiritual being, it means that you understand the light implies dark, that you imply others, that we are born in this planet to express the divinity of source. So every one of us has something to offer and have something to express divinity. The question is, do you want to see the divinity in yourself? Do you want to see what does it mean mastering light and darkness? That is the question that you need to ask yourself. Religions, witches, pagan, esoteric power from Egypt to Maya, they all have something in common. This something in common is to find the connection with source, but also become a master of the source, knowing how to express source knowledge, source view, and how to express divinity. All the spiritual teachers that deny the dark side, they are not real spiritual teachers. We cannot separate them. So for what is my comprehension, what source is telling me, or my interpretation of what source has been communicating with me at the moment, is that in our society at the moment we had mostly the manifestation of this triangle, which is the Illuminati part, which is one, a few people who has the third eye open, and they decide to control humanity with the dark. And now we are going into the stage in which finally the female side, or people that use divine power to empower others, not to get benefit out of them. When they empower themselves and others, we emerge in a completely different world. And this is what is happening now. The control of the elite is getting less because we are awakening in another part of source. A person that opened this understood many things, but after that level there is also another level, which is the capability of using the darkness and using the light. The capability of understand that you can make what you like out of you. We are not here to judge. I can be evil if I want to. I had to face evil to become the smart angel that I am today. So I am too thankful to evil. Spiritual teacher that puts you only in the light or only in the darkness they did not understand. Because even an angel need to be powerful, otherwise we ended up being fool. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned, guys, and see you next time. Like and subscribe, leave some comment, tell me if I'm boring, tell me if I don't speak properly. Let me know, okay?